Hi, good morning. Samantha from Soul Pathways. Happy Friday. I wanted to come on today to continue talking with you about my story, and I think I left off Wednesday. Today is quite foggy out. I mean, it's like split pieces outside. I mean, literally. Can't see much. But I found myself dancing this morning, and despite the fog, still feeling very happy and joyful. Spiritually, everything has a meaning, and fog typically indicates well, there are a few meanings I'm getting: feeling trapped, or feeling stuck, or not having a clear direction, or it advises sometimes as a cautionary sign to stay put and wait for clarity. But even as I look out, I'm seeing a red-winged blackbird. And that's, for me, that's a winged messenger for a spiritual journey. To trust your intuition. I heard the word joy. So, I mean, I just heard trust your gut. So, and I'm wearing red. I felt like wearing red today. So, to do the things you love to do, and to do them wholeheartedly. To connect with your child inside. I've always loved dancing and singing and being creative. I definitely know I've had past lives on both fronts. I know I've been a ballerina, at least in one life, Russian. And I definitely know I enjoy singing a lot too, using my voice. So, have I been a singer? Probably. I haven't remembered that life, though. Not yet. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means I haven't remembered it yet. Nevertheless, even though it's a foggy day here in Rochester, Michigan, it has been a sunny day here for me. I guess for me it's like remembering who I am, and that I have the power to create. I create. I decide. I choose, because I am. I am what I say I am. I am what I choose to do. I am. My life is what it is because I allow it to be. If I make no changes, nothing changes, right? Sometimes there are exceptions to that, like when you're waiting for guidance. Like, I surrender everything to God, and sometimes I'm waiting. And when there are other people in play with your destiny, you have to wait for other people as well. So sometimes when your life intertwines with other people and you don't control other people, you wind up waiting just simply because you're waiting for them to work through. And in the meantime, you just have fun. Do your best to enjoy. I'm sorry, I have belches. And I've realized with that, it's like a releasing of toxicity. Um, just think of it as like, because I asked about that, because I wasn't aware that that's what that meant, but it has been confirmed. Like, it's like inward toxins being released outward, trapped gas and things of that nature. Sometimes you have things inside that don't belong there, things that are not of you, even attachments. And 1 minute you'll be just fine, the next thing you know, you're belching, and you're like, where the hell did that even come from? 555 on my timer. So you learn something new every day. I wasn't aware that that's, I'm not saying that that's always what it is, but if you are somebody on a spiritual journey and you're deeply spiritual, and especially if you're a reader or you're somebody who works very closely with spirit, it most likely is, especially when you're dealing with darkness a lot. And I have been since childhood. I've had Archangel Michael right by my side since day one. I always had a fascination with spirits and ghosts, and have cleared houses and even myself. So there's the knowingness of possession, and that people can be hijacked by things that they're not even aware. And if you don't believe it, then you're not aware of it. And if you do believe it, then you grant it permission, and you are aware of it. Sometimes I do know that if you don't believe it, it can be like a safety mechanism. So kudos there. There are some things, and I'm getting, somebody's trying to stop me from saying that. I have been very thankful, because there are some things I haven't believed in at the right time, and it's prevented me from having things happen to me. So if you don't believe in something, it's like a denial of allowing it in. So it's like, and you have a right to know that. You do. You have a right to know that. Like I said, I'm here to empower you. You have a right to know that your beliefs make and break you. And you control what you believe. Here's something most people don't recognize about their belief systems. People don't often go through them. Like, we'll build our beliefs from childhood, and like our belief toolbox. And during my educational experiences, I learned that people never go into that toolbox, barely, rarely, and look at their beliefs and analyze them and say, does this belief still work for me? And does it really work for me still? Like, I'm just going to use it as an excuse. Men with their, if you work on cars or whatever, mechanics, will go through their tools and be like, I think I need to update this tool, like if it's old or whatever, or they need a new tool for their toolbox or whatever. They'll replace outdated tools or systems in their toolboxes. That's what I'm saying. Our beliefs, sometimes, in fact, a lot of times, look at your age. Just think of it like that. If you gathered beliefs as a child and you've never went through them, the same beliefs as a child, if you're 50, me, do you really believe they're still valid? You're operating on beliefs for 50 years. Do you think the same beliefs from when you were born are still valid at 50? Really? Come on. And then the other question should be, do you want them to be valid? Because your life operates off of them. You build and manifest off of your beliefs. What you believe and what you don't believe. Like I just said, you can actually protect yourself through what you do and don't believe. Another thing that can protect you is self-love. It's the best armor ever. Why? Then you don't care what other people think of you. Why? You just don't. Because you love yourself so much that you're like, your validation is not needed. Get the hell out of here, right? Oh, you think I'm fat? Fuck off. Excuse my language, but truly, get out of here. So what? When you really love yourself, you realize that the only validation you truly need is your own. When you're confident in your skill sets and abilities and how you look and what you know and things of that nature, you don't need others. You don't. Come on. You just don't. And you learn. I mean, this is like a huge disease in this society. Everybody wants to impress everybody. Why? Who cares? Here's the thing is we spend so long trying to impress everybody else that we're breaking ourselves. We're so unhappy. Could we be any more unhappy? I've never been more unhappy than when I was trying to be what other people wanted me to be. I was like, I'm pathetically sad. I've never been more happy than I am right now with me. Like, on the path I am, because I'm being me for me. I'm authentic. I'm not trying to impress people. I'm not out here dressing for people, talking for people, acting for people, putting on facades for people. What you see is what you get. People say I'm a mystery. No, I'm not. What you see is what you get. I mean, if you really look closely, I mean, for real, if people really wanted to get to know me, they'd step to me. When I want to get to know somebody, I step to a person. At the end of the day, people have reasons for why they don't do things. And I've been karmic myself. It's a process. Like I said, it's a prerequisite for it's soul growth. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta crawl before you can walk. What do I mean by all that? Well, what I'm saying is, maybe, perhaps, people don't talk to me and they say all this stuff because they know they've done things against me that they feel badly about. And they're really just tied up inside because they're not sure how to approach me because they feel badly. Or they feel a certain way. Whatever way that is. Or they still feel some sort of other negative emotion. And it is what it is. I understand. I've been down all of these avenues myself. Not that I've ever hurt anybody. I've never went out of my way to hurt anybody. And if I have hurt somebody, I have taken steps to apologize. I wouldn't be an earth angel, especially one of truth, if I didn't. I wouldn't be a generational chain breaker. I'm not that mysterious, trust me. It's just my situation puts me in a place where it's like, if you're not seeing a softer side of me, it's because I reserve that for people who earn it. And that I feel safe showing that to. Again, you've earned it. I know you're not gonna mess me over. And that takes time. That's called trust. And nobody stepped to me to start building anything like that. Not yet. And I don't know if it's going to happen here. And that's okay. I don't plan on being here for forever. Much longer. And I believe that fully. When God tells you He's going to do something for you, or that something's going to happen, He makes promises. Them promises are gonna happen. God always comes through. Like always. 1711. So, recognize in life, you know, I think that's one of the big things today for me is, you know, when I woke up, I'm like, shoot, it's foggy. And yesterday it was raining again, and I'm like, what the heck? Where's the sun? And then I realized, you're the sun. What's your problem, girl? I'm like, yeah, you're the sun. And I'm talking to myself with all my guides. I'm like, you are the sun. So I became my own sun. And usually I'm pretty good at that anyway. I'll get doing things. And I've been spending more time with my inner child. We've been getting more creative again and things of that nature. Worry. Spending time worrying and fearing things is such a waste of time. Worry and fear solve nothing. They make you ill. They attract more of the same. They don't solve problems, that's for sure. I mean, it's not like think of the last time you worried. Did it solve the issue? Or did it give you anxiety and attract in more issue? I do what I can to stay on the optimistic side of life. I try. And I keep trying. I'm resilient like that. I'm not perfect. I never claim to be. There are days when I've gotten knocked right down on my face. But I don't stay there. Today's a good day. Why? I chose it to be. Like I said, I woke up and I'm like, fog. But then I'm like, I'm choosing today to be a good day. So, that says, when it comes to healing and removing blocks in your life, You have more power than you think in your own life. Because we're all human. This actually applies to you too. Everything I just said applies to you. About the stress, the worry, the choosing, the choices, all of it. How precious you are. Because you are. In your world, if you have a rainy day, you're the sun. Or go dance in the rain. Or do the thing you like in the rain. So sorry. You'll have to excuse that. I'm doing laundry. And I do need to go change my laundry. So I'll be pausing in 5 seconds. But whatever it is that you enjoy doing, do it in the rain. I used to hate rainy days. Now I find them fascinating and soothing, and I understand they're the reason. They're like comfortable blankets. They're the reason, they're healing. They're the reason we're green. They're the calm. So we get flowers and leaves and grass, and they cleanse the air for us. And they're good for the soul. So, yeah, I've worked on my own perspective when it came to rainy days, that's for sure. Anyways, I had a few minutes and I wanted to talk with you a little bit. I'll be back. I do need to change out my laundry. But, yeah, I hope you're doing well this Friday. And, yeah, I'll talk a little more when I switch up my laundry. Till then, be well. Hey, thanks for waiting. Now I've got my laundry done. I figured I'd finish out the rest of this message. So, it only took maybe 30 minutes and the fog lifted. It's now much clearer out than it was earlier today when I first started the message. And how things work out. But nevertheless, regardless, at the end of the day, sunny days, cloudy days, rainy days, it all really does not matter. What matters is that you understand that you control how you operate and within that day, expressively. You can't control outer circumstances. The whole world could be going to hell, and you can still have a good day. You can still be a good person. You can still choose to rise. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can still choose to do it, because these things are choices. They're choices. Same goes for healing work, block removal. I know I didn't say it earlier, but I'm Samantha. I'm from Soul Pathways, and I do swear. So, although I'm trying to work on it, I don't always catch it. If that offends you, you might not want to watch these videos then. And if you want to understand why you should watch these videos, then go back to video number 2. In the beginning, I talk about the whys. I'm an earth angel and the chosen of the 144. I'm anointed, chosen of God, the creator, universe. And I'm here with a soul contract. It's a dual mission. I came, and it was optional for me to come. I volunteered to help lift the vibration of humanity, of Earth, Mother Gaia. Heaven on Earth, we've heard it, right? So to bring more love to Earth. And then I'm also a light worker. I'm a gatekeeper, grid worker, transmuter. So I've been in a lot of those different roles as a light worker. I'm a leader. I'm a follower. Really doesn't matter. I'm pretty good at doing most of them, different roles. But because of my anointing, I don't look like anything that I've been through. I'm coming out of gang stalking and walking into a new life as we speak. I'm currently homeless. I'm in a hotel as we speak. This is a hotel room. I've lived here with my child for 4 years. It was a long and hard mission, but because of my father, I gotta say it was my dad, and only my dad. And that's gonna cover my ancestors and the angels, my spirit family. They are what got me through. I can't begin to tell you how difficult it's been for love incarnate Earth Angel to go through so much hate and darkness. I've been told to be even more authentic about this. To stop being so brave-faced. So I'll share that it was hurtful, even scary. Because when I look back at older versions of me, I was somebody who really held humanity high. I thought so highly of humans. Especially here in America, but all across the world. I thought all people were good. like me. And the experience I went through, though needed, it showed me a whole nother side. It sobered my view. And it made me see why I was needed. And it hurt so bad. Because I love people. And I think of all the kids and everybody. It doesn't even matter your age, your race, your gender, who you're with. And it's like we're all here and everybody's living in a vacuum of hatred almost. Or was. And it was so heartbreaking. Because it was focused on me at that time. For nothing legitimate. But it made me realize that part of my purpose in coming here was to stop an epidemic. That was brought to my attention. But even more than that, I began to understand that the balance of darkness and light. I began to understand dark and light and what does that mean? People are people. And I hold so much compassion because I am of dark and light. I have been somebody who has thrown stones and hidden my hand. Later to be punished, I'll admit. Because you can't do that and get away with it. And you won't. Not in this world. Not with the spiritual laws as they are. I'm no better than anybody else. What happened here is I got picked on from birth, which set me aside. Doesn't make me better, just makes me different. And people don't tend to like different, do they, folks? Maybe we should work on how we view different. I know Astrologically speaking, there are fixed signs that struggle with different. Even the word change and different kind of makes them go, it's like, really? No. Unless they have, more cardinal and other mutable signs in their chart, they're going to be like, But trust me when I say different and change are not bad. And you're talking to somebody with 6 placements of Scorpio in her Western chart right up front. I have a stellium in Scorpio. And I'm an earth angel. And I go with the flow. And I'm very flexible. And I think that to my Sag, which is pretty close to being up front too. Thank God. And it's why I love my red. I love my red, but and it could be why I have my bit of a fiery temper at times. So for those who wonder about me, I do have fire sign. A lot of astrology here. If you want to know an astrology lesson, people are not made up of one sign, they're made up of like 10, and then if you want to go into Magi astrology, it's like 3 birth charts, which is a lot more than 10. And it gets a lot more complicated than that, but we'll just stick with one, with the Western. But Vedically, I'm actually Libra, and I'm very airy, which would mean I'm more like a Gemini. You're seeing my Western chart, and then you're seeing my Vedic chart. You're seeing the air sign, the communicative person, the very liberal and justice oriented, versus the very, foundational and emotionally rooted and creative and Empress and intuitive. Because Western, my moon is in Pisces, but in Vedic it's in Aquarius. When you put those two together, I'm like, I have them all anyway, but I have everything. I have earth, water, air, and fire, but I have them all. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I know a couple videos back I was speaking to how you can read, like, the USA has a birth chart. Yes, it does. Every country has a birth chart. Every country. Every organization has a birth chart. Nabisco, NASDAQ. Every administration has a birth chart. Anybody who's a millionaire, they're into astrology. Don't let them fool you. Why? Aspects mean something, and they don't want to waste their time or money. Yeah. Problem is, unless they know a little bit about Magi astrology, they're probably into the wrong astrology. Just saying. Gotta know a little bit about a lot of things. Vedic seems to be the one most people lean into, though. Okay. Whatever you believe is what's going to be the thing that rolls for you and flows for you. Remember, spiritual laws. What you focus on grows. What you believe, your beliefs, remember the belief toolbox I spoke of earlier? Your beliefs will be like the basis of your reality. So like the reality to which you build your house on is like built from your belief system. For instance, just to give you a small example, if you were raised in a household where your parents were blue-collar workers and they always taught you, or said, you even heard them say, money doesn't grow on trees, you got to work hard for money. And that's probably a tool in your tool belt. That you got to work hard for money. It's not going to be given to you. Nobody gives money away for free. You're going to have to get an education, blah, 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 blah. You can think of 1,000,000 and trillion and one times where your parents sacrificed blah, blah, blah to get you things. How many hardships your family went through, blah, 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 blah. And unless you and yourself are different and you chose from an early path onward to make a change in your life, this is a tool in your toolbox, and you're just going to extend that pattern to your own children. Period. Unless you go into that toolbox and look at that belief and be like, this isn't serving me, Chuck. Most people don't do that, though. Because, well, A, they don't know. They don't know to. Until me, have you ever heard anybody say, go into your belief toolbox and go through your beliefs and decide which ones work for you or which ones don't and make some new beliefs for yourself? Probably never. Hello? People don't think about those things. What do my beliefs have to do with shit? They have everything to do with everything. They're the reason why you have to work so fucking hard, because you believe you have to work so fucking hard. If you believe you have to work hard, you're always going to have to work hard. Hello? If you believe money doesn't grow on trees. Now, I'm not saying money will ever physically grow on trees. What I am implying, though, that money doesn't have to be hard to come by. And I am going to tell you this. There's more than enough fucking abundance and money in this world for every fucking buddy to be a multi-billion, trillion, trillionaire. Everybody. But you have people in this world that want us to believe that there's only so much and only the top 1%ers can have it. And you've just got to earn it. You got to bust your buns for it. No. Sorry. No. No. I'm not saying you don't have to do some things. But no. Again, whatever you believe is what your reality is going to be. Here's a great idea or thing. And these programs are not for children, so this is age-appropriate material. Like the public little adult picture shows. You go into your own little cubicle. It's like we're all in our own little cubicle adult picture show. In life, we all have our own belief system. We're all in our own little cubicle with our own little belief system, and how we live our life is how our life is going to turn out. And yet we are unified because there are some of us that share similar beliefs, and in those beliefs our life will be unified because we are one energy, because we're all those cubicles are in the same building. So that building is one energy. We'll just say the building is the universe. But the sheer fact that we all believe different. See, universe holds space and grace and loves expansion. and will allow people free will. So if you want to make it hard on yourself, go right the hell ahead. And I assure you, there are people out there that are like, yeah, I've never had to work hard for my money at all. Ever. And then there are men and women out there that are like, you have to bust your ass every damn day of your life. I know as a billionaire, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're never going to have it. And then one billionaire is looking at the other, and they're on the same line. They just got there differently, and with different belief systems. You understand? Same frequency, just different beliefs. I'm going to go with the one who didn't have to work their ass off and suffer. I'm sorry. That's me. That's my Sag talking. And my Scorpio. I mean, I as a Scorpio, I love money. Me and money are best friends, and we always have been. It's just, I don't know. I want to give this information to everybody. I'm not understanding why everybody doesn't want to look at their belief systems and reroute them. Because here's something Einstein said, imagination, and it's not verbatim, okay? He came through meditation the other day, and I happened to be in the bath when that happened. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever, because I bathed with Einstein. It was funny. It was something about how failure is success turned inside out. We were talking about how failure is like a wonderful tool for succeeding. But then that leads me to his other thought of, how people always see it as a linear line, A to B. And he was telling me his thoughts on that, which are like, that's not how it works, at all. Success is not a straight line. In fact, success is it can only get you so far. If you really want to be successful, use your imagination, basically, is what Einstein's saying. And most people are like, but that's almost like faking it. Yes! You want to know why? Here's why. I'm going to connect it right to your brain. The RAS. Reticular activating system of your brain doesn't know what's real or not real. So when you use your imagination, you're activating that system within your brain. That's why I say fake it till you make it does work. I don't know these fools who are telling the world that it does not work. It absolutely does work because of the function of this part of your brain. Can't tell you how many people brought things with the help of divine, because you're always co-creating with source, divine, dad. That's why I said that's your number one priority relationship right there. You wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for that. I call him man. That's my dad. When you're working with divine, you can have, do, or be anything. And it doesn't matter. If you can see it up here, you can be it out there. Now, my thing was, as people knew what I was from the start, they knew I was chosen, and they didn't like it. So from childhood, birth on, I was blocked. I was put under so much scrutiny and so much I guess I'm just going to say darkness, that I didn't even have a fighting chance. But in a way I did. I found other ways to use my talents innately, and I didn't even know I was doing it. I mean, I always was able to get my hands on money, make money multiply. And I always thought, gee whiz, that was pretty easy. I thought and come find out it was just because my dad loved the hell out of me, and he's like, poor kid, she doesn't even know what the hell's going on. And I didn't. I didn't even know what the heck was going on. I really didn't. But now I do. And the real is this. You can have, do, or be anything. And imagination is everything. Impossible is not even really a word. It's just two words slammed together. I'm possible. If it scares you, then you're on the right path. But here's the thing. Why make it too damn hard? I'm not saying you shouldn't take action. Divine action. When you're advised to take some action, you take that action and do so fearlessly. Because anything you want is right outside your comfort zone. Remember that rule. And that usually takes a bit of guts. So right in there is where you're going to find your action and growth. But in terms of having to do all this, I mean, I love these motivational videos, and they really do pump me up. But, and they're for people. They absolutely are. Because everybody is in their own cubicle and in their own lane, right? This video will align with a certain type of person or people. I promise you. If this is for you, you're probably more easygoing. You've probably been through a lot. And you're like, I've been through enough. It's about time that I learn how to do it a different way. And I'm ready to step out on a little faith here. And you do that thing. I'm being encouraged to share these things with you, because, well, these are some of the things I'm being guided to share. I'm not sure. I'm at 3000 on my timer. And the sun keeps coming in and out, and that's Dad. I almost feel like it's happiness and clarity. Like a squirrel who's found its nuts. And I didn't mean that to be like kind of weird or anything. Just like, you know how they collect nuts for the winter. It's like, I don't know. I just heard a gift from me to you. It's what you believe is so dang important. Just make sure what you believe still works for you, because half the time we engage with the beliefs that our parents gave us, that their parents gave them, that their parents gave them. And you're like, okay, these beliefs are like 100 years old. Do these beliefs really still work at 100 years old? I don't know. Let me eat these SpaghettiOs and see if they still work, you know. By the time you've gotten through your SpaghettiOs, you're like, yeah, no. And you're plummeting through, and all you really need is paper. You write down your old belief, and then you write replacement belief, and you start pushing that belief in your head as your replacement. You pound it through. Like every time that old belief comes up, you say no. I mean, you literally out loud. No, Sam. That's me. No, Sam. The new belief is X, Y, and Z. Because you're reprogramming yourself. And you don't have to say it out loud, but when you say it out loud, you're actually telling the universe that you are reprogramming your brain. But you could do it internally as well. Universe hears you that way. Because sometimes you're in a place where you don't want to be screaming it out loud. What if you're out to eat with some people, or you're at the coffee shop standing in line, or you're like, yeah, no, I'm not screaming that out loud. That's embarrassing. You could be at work, you know, it could be something to do with your weight or your hair, or, you know, swearing. Whatever that is for you, you know, working on your belief system is like the foundational start to, you know, changing how you work through healing, I guess. It's a reprogramming. Absolutely. And I got that through my educational experience, and I had never heard that before, but it made so much sense, because a lot of people, I'll tell you, more than many, have lack mentalities when it comes to money. But because, yeah, I mean, that's the world we live in. I told you, everybody and their brother, the governments too, want you to believe that there's only so much money. And it's like, why? We live in an infinite space and time. Why in the hell would you want us all to believe we're freaking so finite? I'm flabbergasted with that. And what's really going to really get you is that actually holds true to healing yourself too. Like physical body healing. I'll tell you right now, for those of you out there who are sick, there's some ownership that needs to come in with that. Whenever I get sick, the first thing I do is I think about how, where did this come from? And I look at me. And unless you're in some sort of spiritual warfare, because you know you're an earth angel chosen, and somebody is doing something, putting something on you, usually illnesses come from outside, or come from inside sources. So, yeah, it's a whole nother subject for another day, but yeah. Hello, I specialized in alternative medicine and healing techniques, nutrition and wellness, the mind-body connection. It's fascinating. And though not perfect, I am still working on these things. I mean, like I'm working on regaining my eyesight as we speak. As you see, I'm currently not wearing my glasses, which is usually not something I like to do, because things tend to blur for me. But I've noticed recently that my eyesight's getting better. Is that? I asked for an improvement in my eyesight, so now my eyesight's getting better. Listen. Remember what Einstein said. Imagination is everything. A and B can only get you so far, but imagination can get you everywhere or anywhere. It was something like that. The quote was something like, A and B can get you so far. A to B can get you so far, but imagination can take you anywhere and everywhere. Something like that. It's not verbatim, but if you Google Einstein quotes, you'll see something like that. Okay? He's chuckling at me. He is funny. Oh my God. Einstein's another secretly funny guy. Chaplin's coming in. Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin. Okay, folks. Charlie Chaplin's here. I don't know if you know who Charlie Chaplin. I barely know who Charlie Chaplin is. Black and white videos. I'm hearing 1940s, 19. I got late 30s, 40s. I'm not sure why he's stepping in here. Can you help me out to understand? We've come a long way since the onset of technology. Oh, to see things outside of black and white. That most things are not black and white. People like to view them as black or white, but there's tons of different. I mean, as somebody who's creative, you can see all the spectrum of even gray. There's different types of gray, which lead us to black and or to white. I mean, okay. Charlie Chaplin was somebody who did a lot of the, I'm not sure what is that called? The silent, what is that called? When it was like wordless acting, but I will have to look that up. He's he's showing me like that change is coming, communication is possible, and that he keeps showing me a phone, and he keeps pointing. I actually feel in my heart like my heart's going. Now I'm feeling it here. Yeah, now here. Now I know he was miming. That's it, mimes. Mimes. He was, yeah, he did mimes. I just heard it. He's like, find your voice, and it starts inside of you, and listen to your heart. That's what that was. Listen to your heart. Okay. Okay. I love that. Listen. There was a phone and a cord attached to it. And he's playing. Okay. Listen to your heart. Okay. I love that. He just went like that. You know, we have people. Okay. We got like lots of people wanting to come in. I'm just gonna stop because I gotta get off here. I have the Rat Pack trying to come in now. If you don't know who they were, and I don't even really know all of them. In fact, I don't know any of them really. I would have to look them up. I only know them as that. They said they're the Rat Pack. And they're from something similar in time. It's like maybe 40s, 50s. Maybe, yeah. 50s then? Or 50s, 60s then? Maybe? And they were Las Vegas, or California, Las Vegas area based. I'm gonna have to stop on that though. At the end of the day, I just heard the sky's the limit if you believe it is. But in all actuality, there is no limit. What tool is in your box that expresses your limit? What are your parameters of success in this world? How do you define yourself? I'm hearing strangers in the night. I got this floating in the back of my head while I'm trying to talk. Here comes Elvis. Oh, Lord. As long as you're okay being you, that's what matters most, though. That's where it all begins, to be honest. With love of self, of authenticity, and being proud of who you are, despite any and all other things, opposition, things pushing back against you. Just moving forward in your own way. When you express that outward with your beliefs, depending on what your beliefs are, you'll see something come through quite beautiful. Work on your beliefs. My understanding, I think I saw something pop up on my phone today about an astrological lineup of planets right now in Aries. Great planet. is a pioneering planet. It's the planet of just do it. Nike is coming to mind. Just do that thing. Take that leap. Get in that toolbox and start rummaging. Because now is the time. Not that you're out of time, but now is a really good time to make that investment, to go that extra mile, to have that talk, to take that drive, to go a different route, to take the job offer. Make sure you read the small print, though. And remember, you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. You have self-worth, remember that. Your value matters as much as their value. Keep that in mind without getting big-headed about it, though. Keep things in perspective. You and your little dog, too. I just heard that from, Wizard of Oz. Yeah, and your little dog, too. Nevertheless, I'm seeing the little red shoes clicking. Whatever you do during this time will get attention and I just heard, will. For those of you in a dharmic phase, especially, of your life, not a karmic, where you're paying karma off, but in a dharmic phase, and you'll have to go to God on the karmic phase, you'll see that any steps you take right in this planetary moment, they'll succeed. The world is your oyster. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. So that's what I got. I think I've spoke over an hour now. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I love you. Enjoy your Friday. And I'll be back soon enough. If not tomorrow, maybe the next day. Okay? Take care. May blessings flow to you and through you. Be well.